Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, August 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how it can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I'll do a bonus analysis at the end. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right here will be moving around still. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these when the market is open just for, like I said, that small amount of time, because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol BOF. Big mover today, and actually as I speak right now, very nice last 30 minutes here. Was all the way up here, has pulled back a little bit, but nonetheless a lot of volume, good volatility on this one. So let's map out some key levels headed into Thursday here. So the first key level from a support standpoint, whoops, grab the wrong, there we go. Let me change that to green to represent support. But if there is any sort of pullback, then you can see down here right around that $1.30-ish area. Good congestion point here of support. So not saying it will pull back here, but if it does and you're a pullback player, then that does seem like a logical area for you to say that you could see it bouncing from that area. Of course, there's no guarantees, but again, it's a logical area because you do have a good solid track record right there of it happening before. In terms of areas of resistance, actually very straightforward, very basic question, just simply asking yourself, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up here at the final 30 minutes at the $1.68 mark. So nothing fancy there logic wise, just asking that very simple question. But all in all, any way you look at it, if you like stocks down below $5, you like good volume, good volatility, then certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, ASST, and this is a tricky chart to talk about because there's a lot of perspective that goes into it. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really bad, because there's no doubt about it. After that point, there was a pullback that occurred pretty much the remainder of the morning and then afternoon. With that being said, if you care about the bigger picture, well then part of the bigger picture is saying, well yeah, sure enough, that's fair. The price did pull back. But what was happening before this pullback? And you would say, well, there was this huge explosive move like that. And now what I've drawn here is a bull flag pattern. Again, if you're some sort of day trader that bought right here, you don't care about this bull flag pattern. But if you're somebody that cares about the bigger picture, or you just like bull flags in general, then you have that standpoint too. So it's all about a reference point, all about what your strategy going in was. But if you are somebody that likes stocks down in this price range, you like bull flag patterns, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one, NIO, very rough day in this one. Not because it was, well yeah, that's part of the reason was because it was so red, but just from a technical standpoint, price came down here to this area of support right there at the $3.80 mark and just crashed down through it, which brings about our first key update, and that update just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So if the price does try to consolidate out and then bounce back upwards, question mark number one is just simply, can the price get back above that $3.80 mark? So keep an eye on that resistance wise. But the more important thing right now, in my opinion more so, is all about supports, because yes, there's a lot of downwards momentum right now. From a pattern standpoint, you would have a bear pennant pattern, which I should note, just because something's bullish in a pattern doesn't mean the price for sure going to go up. Just because something's bearish in pattern does not mean that the price is going to go down. But I want to point that out with the next key level of support being right down here, and I realize it's harder to see here. There we go. But next key area of support, change that to green for support. Right down here at that low of $3.63, and that's coming from way back here in early August there. So it's been a long time since the price has been down around here. Now if the price breaks down through that line, then as you're seeing here, that would be the price down at lows that have not been seen for a very long time. So if the price does come back down here, I would say 363 is certainly one of those must-hold areas. Next one, VRAX, and once more, one of these perspective things. Day trader, scalper, buying right there, wanting to sell within 8 minutes, not looking good at all. But if you like to play pullbacks, well then we actually have a very interesting situation, because we have the price now right here at that purple line there, which on my chart denotes a very well-known 50-period moving average. And as I've said already, there are no guarantees, but it's valid, it's logical to think that the price could find some support there. In fact, we already have an example of that right here. The price, no coincidence, ultimately has already bounced off of that level. Now, will the bounce continue? Nobody knows that, but it is a valid thought to say, well, I think that it'll continue. I think that purple line's going to hold, and this thing will get a move back upwards. Now, you could be wrong, and that's why risk management matters, because if the price does crash down through there, that's where you want to be managing that risk. You don't want to turn into a bag holder, but you not be crazy at all to say, you know, I think this is a nice pullback here to a nice, well-defined moving average, which so far already has some evidence of holding right there. So for you pullback players out there that like stocks down below $10, keep an eye on it. Next one, NVDA, and very, very rough day today, although to give credit where credit's due, impressive bounce. I think at one point the price was all the way down here, but now it's battled back up to where it is right now. So yeah, still work that needs to be done, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Very nice recovery. And it has also kind of pointed out a key level of support now moving forward, with that level being right there at the 123 mark. So I've talked about this area before. You can see 123. And sure, the price did technically go a little bit below it, but not much before it recovered back upwards. So 123 is still going to be considered, at least in my opinion, a key level of support. And if there is some sort of rollback over, then that becomes a very valid thought to think that, yeah, the price could very well bounce off of that level. In terms of areas of resistance, if this bounce continues, all eyes is going to be right here on the purple line, 50 period moving average, just based on the rule that when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance, and that was an area of support. But with the price now breaking down below it, you would expect 127, right around 127.20 to behave in a resistance-like fashion. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, no doubt about it. Very nice bounce late day today. Can this bounce continue? Well, that's where all eyes go to that 50 period moving average, and we'll see if the price can get up through it. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my website, there's an area on the webpage there that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, ticker symbol AGRI, and pretty rough last 30 minutes here. You know, not the end of the world, but the chart certainly would have looked a bit better had that, candle been able to maintain itself. And as I speak, you can see the price is still working its way down further, although at this point the market closes in under 1 minute. But overall, let's map out some key levels still. So from a resistance standpoint, I think that's a key trend line there that a lot of people have drawn. Relatively similar, maybe not exactly, but pretty close to it. And then as far as supports are concerned right now, I would definitely say to keep an eye on that purple line there, the 50 period moving average. If you want to be a little bit more conservative, then you could also keep an eye on that pink line there. With all that being said, if the price were to come down there and break through both those levels, at that point, I would just call this all a pump and dump, because that would imply if the price breaks down below there, that the price has gone essentially right back to where it started. Or in other words, that would be saying the price spiked up to only go right back to where it began, not exactly a sign of genuine strength. But it is a penny stock, so you never know if this thing can curl back upwards and then get up through that line right there. And who knows, maybe it could get a whole new round of momentum. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And yeah, this thing continues to bleed further and further down. And on that note, I want to just get a trend line in play here that I think a lot of people are going to be watching, because I think it does a good job, if anything, of just kind of illustrating how this thing does bounce, but these bounces keep on putting in those lower and lower highs, which is allowing this current downtrend to continue. So case in point right now, yeah, right here, that's good movement. Don't get me wrong. That's great. That's something to get somewhat excited about. You got some upwards movement. My core point is just don't get too excited about it, because we've had bounces before, and until these bounces can get above that trend line, I just look at them with a very skeptical eye. In terms of areas of support, want to bring things down here a little bit more to make it easier to see here. And key level now to keep an eye on. Oh, the price is basically, there we go. Right down here at that gap close location around 201.70. So price never quite hit it today, but 201.70, again, if you go back here, you can see that has that little gap close and former breakout area right there. So keep an eye on that. But in my opinion, the most important dynamic is all about that red line right there. Until the price can get above it and start to stay above it, I'd look at anything in terms of upwards movement very, very, with a skeptical eye. Next one here, WTO. This is just an insane chart. And sometimes that's what a watch list is all about. Just finding super unique, super interesting situations and not rushing out and randomly buying stuff, but at least watching it. And in my opinion, at least, this is just crazy. I mean, to think that this thing, I almost wonder if there's like a glitch on my charting platform here. Was this thing really up in the $2 range this morning and then closed down here at basically 6 cents. So I don't know, maybe there's a glitch on my platform, but this is just a nasty, nasty move. And when you have these sorts of crazy movements, you can get more crazy movements. And what I find very interesting is check out the final 30 minutes of the day. Look at all that volume, and there's a little green candle right here. So is this the sign that the selling pressure is done? Is this a sign that enough buyers have stepped in to create some sort of bounce? And even if it's just a dead cat bounce, with as crazy as this one's been, that could still be a very, very profitable situation. So that's really all I have for you, is that little observation. Big volume, crazy, crazy chart. Maybe something's wrong here as far as my charting platform is concerned. But if you like these sort of, is that even real type situations, well, then this one certainly belongs on your watch list. Next one here, AMD, and we have a situation where it's hanging in there kind of, but also right on the edge. And I say kind of because, to be fair, that pink line there, 200 period moving average, is basically cutting through the middle of this all. So I would still consider it stuck in the range of this area. But last 30 minutes, not a very good looking candle at all. And now it's just a question of, is this bear pennant going to finally get the breakdown? And just to quickly draw in the bear pennant. So we have that, and then we have that right there. And you can actually see the price is slightly gone below the bottom of the pattern. So that's really the big question mark in my mind. Is that the start of something even bigger? Is this tidal wave about to open upwards? And if so, where are some of these next potential areas of support? So that's going to be the main level, or the main thing that I want to focus on here. So next key area that I'd keep a close eye on right there at 143.20. And then just to add in one more in case the momentum really picks up. Another interesting level from a support standpoint, right down there around 141. But as of now, bear pennant slightly broken. Does it gain more momentum? Are the floodgates about to open up? Grab your popcorn for Thursday. Next one, TQQQ, rough day today. As I said with some of these other ones, not necessarily because it was red, but because it broke down through that support. So now that is going to be considered a near-term area of resistance. I'll just get rid of that level up there. So to be fair, had a nice afternoon bounce here. Granted, the last 30 minutes turned around here a little bit, but at least the price is now within striking distance of potentially trying to get up above 67.60. With that being said, even if the price does get above there, I mean, that's a good thing, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't get overly excited about it because not that far above it, you're going to have that purple line there. The 50 period moving average has been a huge thorn in the side of the price recently. I mean, just time after time has rejected the price down. So keep an eye on that. Again, breaking up through that red line there at 67.60, that is a good thing. Just don't get overly excited about it until the price can, push up through the purple line right there, 50 period moving average. In terms of levels of support, you do have that pink line down there, the 200 period moving average, which ultimately did hold strong. Price dropped down below it temporarily, but got back above it. But in the event the price does roll back over, yes, you have that pink line there, but the other level would just be, very basic logic here. Where did the bleeding finally stop today? And that was basically at 65.15. So keep an eye on that if this does roll back over. But yeah, the volatility is back, and this thing's trying to bounce. Can it continue? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out on Thursday. I'll get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can and should be used, then definitely go get signed up for the free training. It'll be very soon, Thursday, August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. One quick clarification here. I am now using the 4-hour time frame, not the 30 minutes. So each one of these represents 4 hours worth of time. And because Bitcoin is open 24/7, I want this video to remain relevant for as long as possible. And using the 4-hour time frame allows me to accomplish that. So overall, things are hanging in there, but they're getting very, very sketchy. So I'm just going to assume you're watching this video 20 hours after I upload it. So when you're watching this video, question number one you need to ask yourself is, where is the price at currently relative to 57,700? If you are answering the question that the price is down below that level, next immediate question, okay, well, where is the price at relative to 56,100? If you are answering the question that the price is down below there, then that means that something is wrong. The bears have taken back over, and things could get way, way worse. Now, if you're saying in any way, shape, or form, well, Clay, actually, I'm watching this 20 hours from now, price is still above that level, then okay. I'm not going to say things are great, but they certainly haven't gotten any worse, and, at least the price would still be going sideways, which is, clearly way better than just continuing to plunge to the downside. Now, obviously, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is way up here, well, that would be telling you that things have gone very, very well all of a sudden. There's been an, very nice bounce. So common sense can take you far in that regard. But in my mind, it's all revolving around 57,700 right now. Can the price continue to hold above it? Or is the price about to flush down below it? Like I said, for those of you watching this 15, 20 hours from now, you're going to have a better idea of that. But as of right now, that's the main question. And as I invited the stock traders, I'm inviting you as a Bitcoin and crypto trader to go get signed up for this free training, because what you're learning about can and certainly should be used within the world of crypto and Bitcoin. So like I said earlier, it'll be this Thursday, August 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Definitely go get signed up. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, hit that like button, leave a comment below. If you have a request for me to do one of your positions, comment below, and I'll do my best to get to that in a future top 10 video. So thanks for watching. Go get signed up for the free class.